Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out to another Gathering of Old Men edition, live from the Tesla. Marlo is on the way. TP is on the way. We were supposed to have FCS Nation Radio Kev on. He hit me up earlier today to let me know that he is covered in snow and they may not have power at this point. So if he gets a chance to pop in, hey Daniel, how you doing? If he gets a chance to pop in, we will definitely get into some FCS conversations, especially talking about some FCS versus FBS possible upsets. It is a wonderful day. It is a wonderful day. It is sweat baseball. If you've been watching sweat baseball, oh, it is a beautiful thing. Not so much for some teams. Some teams got smacked around last night. The FAMU game was probably, of all the games yesterday, FAMU game was probably the best game last night. It was high drama for me and my cholesterol. It was definitely a high wire act. Loved every minute of it. It is one of the few games, especially baseball games. I watch baseball outside of college baseball probably once in a while. Last night, all 9 innings. Didn't turn, didn't move, like all 9 innings. It was a sight to behold. So right now, currently, FAMU is battling Grambling State. It is a 0-0 pitching duel right now, bottom of the second. We gonna see SWAC baseball. It ain't for the weak. I don't know if we can call it an upset today, but them Alley Cats of Bethune-Cookman, they've been on Twitter all week telling me about the Belt Boys, telling me how they gonna put their ski mask on and take that title. And I was like, okay, well, that's cool. That's cool. Like, but apparently, because I wanted to be FAMU, but apparently, Jackson State said, not so fast. They used to call him a Crazy Joe, but now they call him Batman. Because they put hands and feet on Bethune-Cookman today. But that is life in the SWAC. It is definitely rough in the SWAC. I don't like to talk about it, but I need to acknowledge them. Florida State ladies softball team are in the Super Regionals versus Oklahoma. I will peek in and check the score on that. I do not watch those games because on a regular basis, it doesn't go the way I think it's going to go. And so I'm not saying that I'm a jinx. Nobody wants to see me turn white in the middle of a podcast. So there is that. TP is on the way. He's running a little bit behind. Him and his family just moved to Vegas, and they just are getting the keys to the house today. So I'm going to congratulate him early, and I'll congratulate him again when he gets in. But, that is what it is. So I'm going to get into some lighter stuff before the guys get in. Marlo is definitely on the way. He's almost home. Shout out to the HBCU. Actually, TP just sent me a message. TP is back at the house and he is on the way. HBCU alums are now minority owners of the Atlanta Falcons. And most notably for us is going to be Will Packer. Will Packer, St. Pete. I'm going to put St. Pete in the house every single time. St. Pete native, FAMU alum, great director, is now part owner of the Atlanta Falcons. Probably a much needed move with the current makeup of NFL ownership. We still need a majority owner to look like us and kind of feel like us, but that's on the way. That is something that's definitely on the way. So congrats to Will Packer. Amazing work, both cinematically and the work that you do for FAMU and the things that you do in the community. Out of the spotlight, thank you for all your work. Now, I kind of wanted to get into this before the guys get here, but I want to kind of touch on it. So there was a story that broke this week on Jalen Rashada suing a UF booster and Billy Napier. And this lawsuit stems from Jalen Rashada a couple years ago, well, maybe a year ago now, decided that he was going to switch his commitment from the University of Miami to the University of Florida. What got him to change his commitment was a pledge or a NIL deal from a UF booster of $12 million. Come to find out, UF did not have, or the boosters did not have, the collective. It's not a booster. They're suing a booster because the collective kind of went broke. The booster / collective did not have $12 million to give Jalen Rashada. This was also after they gave him over $100,000 to pay to the University of Miami to avoid litigation for backing out of the NIL deal with them. So the reason that this story is significant on the surface is, oh, this is an NIL deal going wrong. There's another kid and all he wants is money, which is not the case. Like, let's just be honest. This isn't a kid issue. This is a NIL booster who decided that they wanted to be the highest bid for that kid. They made the bid, and they didn't have the money to back the bid. That's how we got here. But if you read the articles, On 3 had one, and I believe Sports Illustrated had one, there is a recruiting violation in that article that is more damaging to Billy Napier than this whole NIL fiasco. They make reference, Jalen Rashada's legal team make reference to, not only did they offer the $12 million, but as an additional inducement, they offer the father a job in security. Now, I say recruiting violation because when it comes to the booster NIL coach offering that to the player's parent, it's great. But under the old rules, if the coach was involved with the offer of the job, that's where it gets hairy for Billy Napier. And we also know that the University of Florida, unlike any other school in the state of Florida, has zero problems with firing their head coach. And the underperformance of Billy Napier's teams at the University of Florida and this issue, his days is numbered at the University of Florida. So we will continue to keep a lookout on that story and try and figure out, like, how fast they're gonna fire. Let's just be honest. His days is numbered. He's the University of Florida. They talk with their pocketbooks. They don't talk with social media. They're not doing any of the other stuff that a FAMU would or UCF. They talk with their pockets, and they will keep money in their pockets if they are not happy. And my understanding from my sources is that's what's happening. And there's a couple people that can change the narrative, but they're staying on the sidelines right now. We're going to, again, watch and see how this turns out. So another story that we'll kind of dig into. There are, and a couple, I believe 1 or 2 HBCUs have talked about it. There are investment firms who are, hang on one second, this is Marlo. What's going on, homie?
Not much. I'm coming. Give me a few minutes.
Okay.
I had to boot up my damn computer and everything.
That's okay. I'm just right now, I'm literally just talking about the investment firms offering colleges a lifeline, if you will.
Oh, okay.
So come on in. The water's fine. I'm here.
All right. I'll be there in a minute.
Okay. That was Marlo. The investment firms are offering capital injections into athletic programs amid rising costs, amid the potential of a windfall, because these investment firms aren't doing this for free. Let's just keep it a book. They're not being benevolent and saying, "Hey, we'll lend Florida State $30 million or 100 and whatever $1 million it is to get out of the ACC." No, they want a return on that investment. So I'm a little shaky on that, because there is a potential for calamity. Because you go from, okay, we're just in debt to these places, to, oh man, we now owe Stearns, blah, blah, and blah, blah, $40 million. So the money that we're using to get the stadium, new stadium seats and waterfalls and whatever they're adding to the athletic budget, we now owe those people that money. And with what the NCAA is doing by straddling everybody except for, well, all NCAA are getting strapped with this house settlement, but the people who are bearing the largest brunt per percentage of their athletic budgets are going to be the smaller schools, the FCS, a group of 5, Division 2, Division 3. They're going to be eating the bulk of that because their piece of the pie is smaller. So if they're having to pay $100,000 of a $700,000 budget, that's a huge chunk out of their budget. So these are things that investment firms possibly could help pave the way on and help smooth out some rough patches, but they can also end up being our biggest institutional creditor. So again, I don't know how I feel about that. What do you guys feel about that? Because it's just, I don't ever want to wake up and see that FAMU of Florida State owes, Stearns and Foster's $20 million, $50 million, and we're not bringing in that money. So, but again, a lot of moving parts there. Just pray that there is a solution that will benefit HBCUs and FCS programs more than anything else. The larger FBS schools will probably be okay, but the FCS Division 2, Division 3 schools, hopefully they don't have to go that route. Hopefully they can just kind of steer away from that. While Marlo isn't here, I can say this out loud. My data rates still suck. There is talk of a new stadium, and it still has not been approved. I thought it was agreed upon. It is not. I think the plan has been accepted, but the new stadium has not been agreed upon. And I think that FAMU just scored. It looks like FAMU just scored. Let me make sure. And it's a little odd because what's happening on the fields at the SWAC tournament, it's 2-0 FAMU over Grambling. What's happening on the field is a little bit behind on the scoreboard, so I have to actually look and see what the score is. But strike. Again, a story that Marlo probably doesn't want to talk about much is the fact that the city of St. Pete is having open discussions on what the community feels about this new stadium plan. And for those of us who are from St. Pete, it gets a little hairy because there is a housing boom in the Tampa Bay area as a whole, but particularly in St. Pete, because St. Pete housing prices are kind of outracing the other places. Absolutely, Miss Wright, absolutely. They do need to have some regulations in place because we definitely don't want to wake up and see 45% interest rates. And I'm exaggerating, but That is true. For people who aren't watching, we have a live chat over on our YouTube channel. There is and Miss Wright, who's been on the friend of the show, who's been on the podcast and gave us some great quotes, is basically in the chat letting everybody know that, look, that funding needs to be regulated. We need to make sure that nobody has a balloon payment, because if you've ever dealt with a black church in the late 80s, early 90s, I was a member of a church who had a balloon payment. And you have not lived until that balloon payment comes due in 30 days, and y'all got to raise $140,000. So that's to give you an idea about a balloon payment. I think we'll go back to the St. Pete stuff later. With the institutional lending from investment firms, yes, there needs to be some regulation. There two needs to be. Excuse me 1 second, y'all. It's 6-zip on them other cats in the SWAC. FAMU 6-0 over Grambling State. There needs to be some controls over how much money can be lent, the interest rates on the lending, and the payback mechanisms. Because again, it would be not. There is a Seminole who is on the board, and this is from an article that I read with the St. Pete Times. There is a Seminole that is on the board of Florida State, who also has an investment firm or capital management firm that is looking to be an institutional lender to athletic departments. And good thing he's not the company that's trying to lend to Florida State. Do I think there's still a conflict of interest when it comes to that? Yeah. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, what I read, he's not involved in any of that. So that kind of eliminates the conflict of interest. But these are very dicey waters we're diving into, because you got, again, the NCAA saying, hey, smaller schools, even though none of your players, and I'm touching on a subject I'll get to in depth later, but even though none of your players are going to get any part of this house settlement, we still need your coins on this house settlement so we can pay it out. And FCS, if I'm not mistaken, FCS Division 2 and Division 3 will end up paying 23 to 25% of the settlement, which I think is crazy. But again, these are the things that we have to deal with, because for so long players were taken advantage of. They were free labor, and these are player reparations. So, and a lot of people are championing the fact that we get NCAA football back. Well, in order for us to get NCAA football back, there had to be an Ed O'Bannon lawsuit, which spurred all these other lawsuits, and now you have the house settlement. So that's kind of how we got here. Let me check on TP, see if he can get in. And so, how is everybody's college baseball teams doing? Is it just SWAC? Is it MEAG? Is it ACC, SEC? SEC fans, I'm sorry, I've been talking noise to y'all all season. My bad. But again, Rattlers up 6-0. Oh, please. Oh, let's see how these super regionals are going. And the only reason I got trepidation about these super regionals, is simply because every time here's TP. Hey, what's going on, TP?
Hey, I am literally logging in right now.
Okay.
My computer froze and I had to restart it. I'm like literally logged in now. Don't be mad at the jersey I got on. He was goat.
I don't know what jersey you got on. I just right now I'm trying to check the Florida State softball score. Oh jeez. Yeah. It's 2-0 Oklahoma. Anyway. Oh. Well, FAMU baseball is up 6-0 over Grambling State. So we got some good news there. Again, as it stands right now, it looks like FAMU, Jackson State, and Alabama State, and outside looking in, them Alley Cats down the way, Bethune-Cookman, they look to be the cream of the crop when it comes to this SWAC tournament. Again, I don't want to toot my own horn or nothing like that, but that looks like the cream of the crop. Now, again, while the guys are trying to get in, there was an interesting thing that happened in NASCAR. Over the weekend, NASCAR is known to have some, what I would call, interesting characters. And the interesting characters, they when you're racing around a circle of 160 miles or 200 miles an hour, things can get kind of testy. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Kyle Busch kind of traded paint a little bit in some very dicey situations. And apparently, Kyle Busch basically said, you know what? I'm going to see you when I see you. And there is a beauty to men standing on business. And Kyle Busch decided he was going to stand on business. Miss Wright, can I? All right, look. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all, all right? I'm a hockey fan. I'm a boxing fan. I'm not necessarily an MMA fan, but there are things that, just it makes it fun to watch. I'm sorry, I just looked at the jersey. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But it's just some things in life that just are true. If you rub a man the wrong way at 160 miles an hour, on site is on site. And he letting them people know on the radio, I don't care what happened, he finna catch hands. Now, let me see if I can share this screen, this video. Because this fight was...
Well, what did I just walk into?
Well, I just started talking
First
about
of
the
all,
NASCAR fight. The NASCAR fight. Ricky Stenhouse, the NASCAR fight. So, I'm going to go ahead and share screen.
So, do we think that this is gonna be a continuing thing? I would love to see some kind of rivalry. You know, it has to be heated though for it to actually mean something.
All right. So there are two fights. All right. Can you see my screen, 2B?
I can see you.
Okay, let me share my screen. Hold on. Let me share. There we go. All right.
Okay.
So let me back up. First off, let's just start with this look right here. This man got on Hoochie Daddy shorts and a t-shirt. Why we don't think he finna fight?
He's probably been drinking Keystone Lights since 11 a.m. This is nighttime.
He just got off the track. Just got off the track. So I'm like, all right, okay, all right, right. Let's go ahead.
Honestly, we need to scroll down to the shoes because I would bet any kind of money he got on Black Forces.
I but wait. So you see the shoes. Shoes look like, corner store specials. But stop it right here. I don't know if them people in blue are NASCAR officials or if they're Stenhouse people or Cowboys people. I don't know. I've been trying to figure that out. But whoever it is trying to break up the fight, yeah. No, those are Cowboys people. There is another video. Let me go to the other video. Because the other video, my God. The other video. Are they showing? No, it's on Fox. It's on Fox. That's a lot. It was a Fox video. And by the way, Ricky says he's confused on like why he got fined. Like, I don't understand why I got fined. Cause you tried to damn near that dude. That's why you got fined. Like, and I'm making light of the fight, but hey, is this it?
What does a better run feel like? In Lululemon, it feels like
Or
the
not?
softest cushioning, turning
At a time, and Kyle Busch will pay you. And here it comes.
So this is
Sideways into the wall. He's done. Kapow. Not with that driver.
Yeah, you don't know exactly what the strategy was going to be, but he has a total team win strategy like we talked about. Obviously, it takes a fast car, it takes the execution. Then gave me a run for my money. His short run was so fast, and my long run was so great, so I just had to battle him off. And when it's $1 million on the line, I think all the rules.
the reporters are so on business. This is why I have respect for journalists. If you listen to the sound, the reporters are on business. Like, they all about business.
Go out the window of clean, so I knew that was coming. I was trying to maintain that clean air. If I lost the clean air, we wouldn't have won the race. So we maintained it all day, and man, feels good. Feels great.
Yeah, the interesting thing here, he couldn't leave. Stenhouse was stuck in here. And Ricky, you told me at the end of that first interview after the incident, he may have to hold my watch. You weren't joking. Was this pent up anger?
First of all,
Oh my gosh.
I I I think I'm gonna start watching NASCAR. They
We lost
they
CP.
may have just got a fan. Yep, that shit right there is worth the price of tea.
Oh god. Oh. Oh god. Oh.
And they bought that business. That's why it's even funnier. They're about that
Wait.
business.
Wait. Hold on. So let me get it straight. He told a reporter getting out of the car, "You might have to hold my watch."
On site is on site.
They may have just got a fan.
Hear from just this moment, or does it go back beforehand?
I felt like Kyle and I have always raced each other really hard. Back to the Nationwide Series when we were competing for wins week in and week out, and never had any issues. And then, I wrecked him one time at Daytona, and he's kind of bad-mouthed me ever since then. So I feel like we get along with each other okay outside the race.
What's going on, Alton? What's going on? Hey, so it's some wreck history here. This ain't no we wrecking at 160, 200 miles an hour.
That's what they get paid to do. No, and I don't see no problem with that.
Okay. Well, let's continue with the interview.
I talked to him quite a bit, and I'm not sure why he was so mad that I shoved it 3 wide, but I mean, he hit the fence and kind of came off the wall and ran into me, and I don't know, when I was talking to him, he kept saying that I wrecked him. So, just definitely built up frustration with, how he runs his mouth all the time, about myself. But I know he's frustrated because he doesn't run near as good as he used to.
No, we finna break this down. This man said
he a bitch.
He ain't have no problems before. Been ran down 3 problems that they had.
No, he said he a bitch. He said he's been running his mouth about me. I didn't know he was so mad because he the one who hit the wall. Then he hit me. And then he got mad and I started acting like a bitch.
But he ran him into the wall.
This type of thing happens. It happens.
Anybody who raced against Dale Earnhardt, senior, not junior. Senior was that dude who would look at you and say, okay, mess around and find out. Yeah. He was that guy. That is hilarious.
Oh man, this cannot be regular life. Like this.
Yeah, that's life.
Right.
I didn't even hear about this.
All right, here we go.
And I understand that. We're a single car team over here. We're working really hard to, go out and get better each and every weekend. And we had a really good game plan coming in. Our car was really strong. Yesterday Friday in practice, I was looking forward to running to the front. I think we'd pass a couple cars there, and I was excited for the rest of the night. And he ruined it. So yeah, being stuck in here definitely doesn't help the frustration. If there was a tunnel, I'd have probably been home watching the end of that. But here we are.
So where do you go from here, Ricky?
We're going to go on to Charlotte. Charlotte's a really good racetrack for us. And
what about you?
Oh, wait.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Not with that driver.
I went too far.
He ruined it. So, yeah, being stuck in here definitely doesn't help the frustration. If there was a tunnel, I'd have probably been home watching the end of that. But here we are.
So where do you go from here, Ricky?
We're going to go on to Charlotte. Charlotte's a really good racetrack for us. And
what about you and Kyle?
I don't have anything else for them. If we want to do a charity match, I would do that.
He just invited him outside.
Yeah,
He said a charity match.
yeah.
Yes,
He
a
said
charity match.
if he bought that life and he want to do it and help some charity, let's do it.
We need a one-on-one.
Straight up.
We need a one-on-one race. Just y'all two, so you can't say that, oh, there was people in the way and I was just trying to get around and that's how I put you on the wall.
They gonna kill it. They'll kill each other.
Oh man.
Now, if you still get put
each
on the
other.
wall, that's just your fault.
Oh man.
There's 2 cars on the track.
Oh man.
You know, I've always wondered why that wasn't a thing. Can we get some head-to-head races?
You know how much money.
Not this old point, not this point shit. I want head-to-head, and we're gonna figure out who the best.
You know how much money them race cars cost, and you know how many wrecks head up fade is gonna involve. Cause first of all, it's gonna be some bumping, it's gonna be some rubbing. They gonna blow up some engines. It's expensive.
Smoke in the city.
That
Coming
is
from the car.
funny.
Score update.
Coming from the cars.
FAMU 8, Grambling State 0. Yeah. Exactly. Then it would not be. Oh my God! It would not be. Oh.
Yeah.
Blessed
They
be the
kill
rock.
each other on purpose. And it'll be legal.
You got to be nuts to drive that fast, Dan. You got to be. Ain't no other way around it. You got to be plumb the crazy to drive that fast.
I disagree. Someone who knows the pedal to the right quite well. Yeah. So I like to get places expeditiously. So I don't see nothing wrong with speed. I'm not saying I'm a speeder. I just like to get places quickly.
You just did.
No, I just say I like to get places quickly.
In Orlando.
Within the law or
who law?
The sign that tells you how fast you should not be going.
Well, that's a suggestion.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Yeah.
You know, where we stood on the whole speed limit thing.
Yeah, they say limit, but you know they suggest you go that fast, even though your car might say 160. So I'm like Andre 3 Stacks in that movie Get Shorty. If you don't want me to shoot it, don't give me no damn gun.
Yeah, well.
Don't give me 160 if you don't want me to go it. Shit.
Now, what world will we live in if everybody just floor pedal to the mat? Everybody.
Well, they do that on the Autobahn.
We are not in Germany, sir.
I know, but and
the Autobahn has like 10 lanes.
That's what I'm saying.
It's big.
We need to. You know what? I think we need an elevated roadway.
I'm just gonna keep my kids in the house when Marlo is behind the wheel. Oh no, y'all can't go outside today. Marlo on the road.
I'll be safe.
Mm-hmm. No, you be safe, but what about everybody else?
Yeah, I don't hit them.
So J Dot told me that I needed to be nice to them alley cats today. And them alley cats be me all week. How about they the belt boy? Oh,
What alley cats you talking about?
the ones in Daytona.
Mm. You not hit the house. You hit the house. We got other problems.
I'm pulling it back in. Woo, woo, that would be
What
nice.
else, what else you got for us, Troy?
Yeah.
What else you got for us
So
before we
first off,
get off topic?
let's show Marlo the jersey.
Oh, yeah.
That's a New Orleans Saints jersey.
Say something. You see the boot.
I mean, everybody got some shit in their closet that they might not wear it or should wear it, but they put it on anyway. So, okay, you can. Like, I could go out my closet right now.
I have jerseys of a lot of the greats, regardless of the team.
Okay.
Drew Brees, first ballot Hall of Famer. Record holder for most consecutive touchdown passes in a game.
No. You need to say Drew Brees, Tampa Bay Killer, then the
You mean Drew Brees that Tom Brady was throwing passes to his kid after he whooped his ass?
I was about to allude to that.
That's what you was saying. That Drew Brees.
Tom Brady was the only quarterback that can come to Tampa Bay and get them over the hump of dealing with Drew Brees. He had been giving y'all nightmares for years. A long while.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm not a Saints fan. For the people at home, I'm not a Saints fan. I'm far from it. But I do love Drew Brees. I appreciate everything he did for the game. We need more like him. And, you know, from what I've heard, he's a great person off the field as well. So, great father to his child, even though he let Tom Brady throw passes to him. Hey, his son's favorite player is Tom Brady. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Tom Brady is the GOAT. If there was anybody that he would, you know, let throw passes to his son, who better than the GOAT?
It's okay to disown your kids.
You look like your face got tight. What he said.
It's okay to disown your kids. It is perfectly okay to disown your kids.
Oh shit.
So if you play professional sports and there was somebody in said sport that was the greatest to ever do it at your same position, you would be mad if your son idolized them?
I'm
not gonna say mad.
This situation was on another podcast with Carmelo Anthony, and the question was asked to his son: Who does he think is a great player, the greatest player? This little boy said,
"Everybody but Carmelo."
He said everybody but his daddy. And Carmelo said, "Well, you know, he ain't supposed to say me because I'm a given." I said, "What? You a given?" When
I don't think that's what he meant, sir.
Excuse your dad. Yeah.
I don't think that's what he meant.
So
sound like a touch of narcissism and delusions.
In another interview, they asked Cayenne, I believe his name is Cayenne. They asked Kai if he could take his dad, if he was better than his daddy at 16 than his daddy was, could he beat him? He said no question.
Yeah, that kid has grew up in a life of privilege, and he don't know who his daddy really is. Like he ain't never
Really
seen.
don't.
Like
Listen, I done seen Melo get hot at Syracuse, and it's like just it's over. Just there's no, you know what? We're gonna get back on top. We're gonna get back on topic.
that
So
that went with our subject.
it did. Um, Lamar Jackson had an interview today about his weight loss. He dropped weight because he wanted to be more agile. So now he's around two something.
219 or 218 or something. They said.
Okay, that's better than what people was making it seem. They was making it seem like he was 200 pounds,
No,
and I was
but
gonna
he's
be in a
six.
full
What
blown
is he?
plan.
6'3"?
Um,
I think he's like 6'3", 218. I mean, shit. If you can move better in the pocket, if that's the reason why he dropped weight, and not to move better, like running the ball,
oh,
then
he's
that's
6'2", 215. 6'2", 215.
I ain't got no problem with that. As long as he stay in the pocket, only run at absolutely necessity. Anything else, all bad business. He ain't gonna be playing long this season. I hope they got a real good backup.
Wait, what?
Cause he gonna get hurt. First of all, at 230, he was getting bammed. Now you 215? Oh, okay. This is the NFL. Light
Say not for long.
quarterbacks get made light work of. If you can't pass the ball, you better let that damn ball go. Okay.
You know, you know what? I told J Dot I was gonna be nice. I'm being nice. I'm being nice. But it's 11-0. I should send Yard talking invite, but that would just be wrong.
Man, them people like that, they don't know what was gonna happen. They knew. They knew.
I mean, it is, it wasn't unexpected. It wasn't unexpected, but run it back, baby. Run it back. Real quick on these NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. I know I haven't talked about it much because the Lightning got bounced by that team in Sunrise. Now that team in Sunrise is beating the Rangers 1-0. But the NHL is having record playoffs with 1.6 million viewers this playoff season.
Can I say something about the Panthers, Florida Panthers? Y'all had one freaking job. 1.5 points. That's all I needed. A nice 10 pick. Everything hit. Everything hit. These sons of
hate when that happens.
Win by 1 point. Like, yeah, how you? I digress. I'm sorry. That was extremely personal and upsetting to me. And not only did y'all beat my damn Lightning, but you really now y'all out for me. It's a target to me because you beat my team, and then you gonna blow my ticket. Y'all at me. It's okay. Got something for y'all ass. Got you.
TP, correct me if I'm wrong. When I said it
Yes,
was
sir.
personal with Tom Brady, y'all told me I was crazy. When Tom Brady said he might come back, y'all told me I was crazy. When he tried to become minority owner of the Raiders, and I wanted to be security for the Raiders, y'all told me I was crazy. Marlo just said the Panthers got it out for him personally.
They do.
And
I
what
let it
leads you
go.
to believe that it's personal?
I let it go when we lost to them. I let it go. I did not. I ain't say not one thing about the Panthers when we lost to them in the playoffs. I ain't say one thing. I ain't say one thing about them when they came to Tampa and mollywopped us. I ain't say not one thing. I ain't do that. But now, knowing that my ticket had them on it, you know what? It's my fault. I take everything I said back. Ain't no way in the hell as a fan I should have put the Panthers on my damn ticket. No, it's okay. Y'all right. It's on me. Cause my fandom is way better than that. I should have put not now team that beat my team on my damn ticket. I should have lost.
A major star just broke, but I can't stop that.
I should have damn. I digress. My bad, y'all.
All right, man. All right. So the NCAA and the power conferences have agreed to allow schools to pay players directly. Now, Grambling just scored 2-0. The thing that is interesting, right? The thing that's interesting is NIL is still NIL. And you still can't tie NIL to playing time, to a specific school. It can only be tied to the player and the collective or the organization. So if you're allowing player teams to pay players, that don't get rid of NIL.
They thought it
That don't get
would.
rid of the collectives that gonna have. Listen, it is more boosters with money than athletic budgets with money.
That don't make sense to me. That's kind of
I just
crazy, actually.
I mean, you got to think about it. Who before was paying players? Because they've been doing it. This isn't like a new topic, right? This goes way before Reggie Bush got caught for accepting gifts. They've been paying players. There's been
Yeah,
some type of monetary
y'all think
objects or things of value exchanged to players in exchange for them going to a certain school. And that
do
wasn't
y'all,
coming from the boosters.
do y'all think it's a coincidence that Reggie Bush got his Heisman back
Absolutely
before the
not.
NCAA came out with this?
well,
Absolutely not.
so
Because they had to you can't hold punishments over people's heads for something that is now not only legal but highly exploited.
That's
And to withhold his Heisman from him, which again, accepting a car and a little bit of money has no effect on a player's ability to play the game. they had no choice but to go ahead and overturn this because they had been hearing the backlash from it, the hypocrisy behind it all.
Yeah.
Because the NCAA has been a $1 billion industry for the better part of the last 30 years. And we've only seen it grow with the addition of the primetime bowls, and then we have the playoff system. So now we're making even more money from the playoffs. You've basically killed all other bowls in the process because now players who are able to get paid in college are looking towards the future. Well, this bowl game isn't going to dictate my draft status, so why should I even care if I'm not playing for a national championship? So now we have a 12-team tournament going into next year. And all of this is just to put more money in the VP's pockets.
It is. It is. What are the words that I'm looking for without like being profane? It is audacious.
Ooh, I like
It
that
is
word.
audacious. It is audacious to the beginning of the week let everybody know that schools whose players are not getting any money from the house settlement have to pay in the house settlement, but also aren't going to be able to pay players because they can't afford to. So the rich are getting richer and the poor are paying for the rich to get richer. Boy, you got big balls. Like NCAA, I'm sorry, Big Ten and SEC. Y'all got some big old balls. ACC, listen. Let's stop acting like y'all got big balls. Y'all ain't got money to play like that. You just don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't be breaking up the conference.
When they had the playoff committee last year, there was the one ACC guy that had raised his hand. It was like, I think Florida State should get it. Shut up. Yes, sir.
The chairman was from ACC school,
North Carolina State, and we need to put up 60 on them in the first quarter.
They told him shut up, and he said, "Yes, sir."
He ain't voting.
You know where our money came. I'm telling you, he said something before, and then they told him shut up. This is how you get paid, and he said, "Yes, sir."
Insane.
Because I just don't see any way that you can say you represent a conference, but then you don't even attempt to advocate for your only undefeated conference champion to be in the playoff versus 2 1-loss teams. And I'm including Texas in that conversation as well. But you let 2 1-loss teams jump a conference champion.
Undefeated
conference champion. There had to be a suitcase slid under the table with a note that said, "Shut the fuck up." And he followed suit. You always follow the money. That's what I've learned in life. You always follow the money.
But to have HBCUs pay into this house settlement, to have FCS Division II and Division III schools pay into this settlement, it's crazy. None of their players gonna get this money.
How they gonna make them do it?
It's already scheduled. They're scheduled to pay HBCUs, FCS Division 1, Division 2, and Division 3 are going to pay about 23 to 25% of the settlement.
How? How can they make them do it? Who agreed in these schools to the settlement?
Oh, they're all agreeing to it. They're all agreeing to it. That's the
And
whole thing.
these are all public universities, meaning they get a lot of money from the state.
They're all agreeing to it. Because essentially they either agree to it, or if it was me, right? If it was me, I would find me an attorney to say, hey, if we're paying into this settlement, my players need to get paid too. My past players need to be part of the settlement. Point blank, period. Because the money just ain't right.
The math ain't mathing.
For real. It is a comedy of errors. Big time college football took advantage of these players for decades. HBCUs ain't taking advantage of these players. Y'all wouldn't allow them to. They were not put on primetime TV. They were not given revenue. Hell, ESPNU was giving exposure coins to HBCUs. Hey, we just gonna get y'all on TV. We got something new. We're gonna put y'all on TV. It's gonna be great. But how much we getting paid? We ain't paying nothing, but it's gonna be great. You're gonna get new players with it. It's gonna be great. Exposure coins don't spend nowhere. And as Danny Wright said on this podcast, HBCUs have no problem taking off their clothes. So
I ain't getting naked for nobody.
That
should be their motto, but they don't live by that.
So that whole house thing, is it's some shit. It's some shit. All right, Marlo.
Yes, sir.
Marlo, we need to talk about it, man, because I know you've been steadfast with Otani. Steadfast with him. That's been your man for grand.
If Otani had something out there, I'm just saying. If he had something out there, brother, everybody would already know.
Okay, I somewhat agree with you. Howsoever, I don't like coincidences. They just now sometimes a coincidence is just a coincidence. It just so happened to be. But I remember saying bookies are not giving $14 million of credit to an interpreter. Skip all how he got the $14 million and stole the $14 million. Let's skip all that. Because apparently we all stupid and he went to an ATM machine and pulled out $14 million. That's fine. But this Atlanta Braves player was currently under investigation, David Fletcher, who previously played for the Los Angeles Angels.
Does he have an interpreter?
He does not have an interpreter, but he got the same exact bookie.
Hey. That interpreter was like, look, I can put you on to him, but you got to handle your own business.
You know what?
Hey, that's on him.
So you okay. All right. Okay. I'm
just saying.
So you are saying there is no possible connection between the interpreter Otani and this bet. And I'm sorry, in this bookie.
Yeah, no. Anybody show me any proof that he do? Anybody? Anybody. I take some proof from anybody.
Marlo, if he was not, I'm sorry, let me say this again. Why are we still finding, because if the investigation was done, why are we still finding players? And why are the players all connected to the Los Angeles Angels?
Because they had to sneak and do it in California.
There are no other interpreters that are connected with this bookie as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
But
if anybody else comes up to be investigated, that's on them. But as far as Ohtani chilling and hit home runs. That's what he doing.
Okay. So let me say it. Let me interpret what you're saying.
Yes.
Ain't no way the goose that's laying the golden egg in MLB is going to be found guilty of anything at any point in time when it comes to gambling. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I was reading the room correctly. All right, cool. I just,
I'll go even further. Let me go even further. If Ohtani comes to have had any involvement in this betting, I will get on this podcast and say I was wrong. Yeah. Ohtani, even if Ohtani did have something, it will not ever be proven that he did. And you can take that shit to the bank. Some other pork chops.
So, Miss Wright, there is this thing on this podcast, and it's been going on for what, 5 years now, Marlo? Marlo will get onto the podcast and have a meal. And sometimes it's a regular meal. Sometimes it's a regular meal. Sometimes it's snapper that he caught in the sea.
Last week,
I didn't get the phone call about going fishing.
I ain't gonna even tell you what I had last week.
Oh God. Dude, I don't want to put your call on blocks. Like, we friends. If you tell me you went fishing last week and just invited me this, okay. All right.
No. I had a crab boil last week.
Oh no, you told me about that. I ain't the one you should be worried about. I ain't the worry. That woman, you should be worried about that woman. Like, did Lil Mama, did you play as Lil Mama the Secrecy?
No, she good. She good. She just came here and asked me if I needed anything else. She a daddy girl.
That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. That's awesome. So, Danny, this is what Marlo does. We got Memorial Day weekend coming up where our families get together and hang out, crab boil, barbecue, the whole 9 yards, jet ski. That's just something we do yearly. So that's coming up. And we got a fishing trip coming up. And I'm gonna shoot some content for the fishing trip. I think I put some of it up somewhere on social media before, but I'll go ahead and put some on the website. For everybody that don't know, fatmouthsports.net is the website. Latest episodes, you can listen to the podcast on the website if you don't want to go through your streaming partners. That is all available on the website. But again, that's just some of the stuff the shenanigans that we get into here. Earlier, Marlo, I brought up the fact that the Rays still suck. The new stadium deal. My daddy Rays, man, they just can't. It's that farm system. That farm system, and your boy being in trouble. That's hurting the team. It's bad. But you know, MLB, you should probably. All right, I'm gonna go back real quick. The Otani story. Otani started out with the Angels. That's
Yeah.
why I brought up the Angels. So, but moving right along. Oh boy.
Oh,
Listen.
and I just bought 21 slabs of ribs today.
Why?
Saturday
Listen,
is going down.
I ordered 7 dozen crabs.
It's going down.
Oh, this for Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Oh, and everybody,
Well, thank
I
you for
said it
paying.
earlier. I want to go ahead and say it now because TP, you got your house.
I gotta go take care of that tomorrow.
Okay, cool. So congrats to TP. You know,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I got a
the
spot
things.
in Vegas, baby. I will be coming soon.
Come on down, Marlo. We get set up nice and right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, Marlo, today I saw something rather interesting, and I know you're gonna find it rather interesting because, like, you know, we find stuff interesting. There was a prediction of top 10 most intriguing SWAC out of conference games brought to you by Lionel Mosby Jr. of PV versus everybody. Now, first few games you can read for yourself. However, do you see that game right there?
What game? I don't see it.
I'm sorry. Let me share my screen. I thought I shared my screen. Let me go ahead and share my screen because, like I said, these games, yeah, okay. These FAMU 2 out of conference games, Alabama State and North Carolina Central in the Orange Blossom Classic. That's all fairly mundane. But this one right here.
Prairie View and Morgan State. What the hell is Prairie View and I can't see that.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's Prairie View and Morgan State, December 21st.
The one but above it.
Oh, Prairie View and Incarnate Word. That don't worry about
That devalues their whole. What the hell is Incarnate Word?
Oh, they're pretty decent in FCS school, but Marlo, look at December 21st. What happens on December 21st?
I'm not even getting into the fact that Prairie View suck. I'm not even gonna get into the fact, but why would they think they would be playing that late in the year? Anything. I'm just asking. I'm asking for a friend.
I'm gonna put the FAMU and me aside. I'm gonna put that aside for a second, and I'm gonna let you kind of give you the argument.
I want to hear it.
Daniel, I'm really working on that. Okay, so Banks and I have been we are going to do a way too early conference breakdown. So we make our predictions way too early. But Banks explained it to me that, and Banks is from Tampa, by the way, Morgan State alum. He explained to me that their defense was top tier last year and that their quarterback got injured, and now their quarterback is back and they got a young gun coming in behind him. So they should be in position to win the MEAC. It's only 6 teams in the MEAC.
Morgan State?
Yeah.
Okay. Continue.
So that's that. Now, when it comes to Prairie View A&M, Prairie View A&M was in the SWAC championship game. I will give them credit for that. Also, what was that? A week before, they played FAMU and got blasted.
Mollywop.
Lionel, you're not helping. Like, I can't help you. I'm trying my best to help you. It's not working.
They got the poop beat down their leg twice.
2 times.
That's one of them. I told y'all about coming around here messing with them people.
Damn. Double homicide.
They brought their ass down there with all their fans to the SWAC championship game. Like, they really had an opportunity to win. That shit was over before the game started.
You gotta have faith in yourself, though, Marlo. You gotta have faith in yourself, faith in your team.
Yeah.
I promise you. I had to reprimand Ash for celebrating in their face.
Wait, was this one of those? We gonna talk about this later. And then you get in the car. Good job, son.
That's probably exactly what that was. Like, don't you say that to them people. My dog. That's one of them.
That's Marlo. Marlo was a bad influence on him the whole weekend.
Look, he doing one of these. You better not be doing that again. All right. You better not do it again.
Why am I the bad guy? I ain't even.
No, that's great parenting.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna bring up.
Ash be standing on business. When it comes to FAMU, Ash be standing on business.
Listen. That boy went to 2 games last year and committed. And then had the audacity to tell me I wasn't no real rattler. Let me tell you. I don't know how much trouble you get in from putting your child on the side of the road, but I thought about it.
No, you didn't, because he was right. And you can't take when other people are right. That's
here we go.
That's your problem. You can't take it that he was right. Don't be putting me in my place and you ain't even made it to high school yet.
Oh, shit.
Your voice ain't even changed yet. How you gonna put me in my place?
I ain't gonna tell y'all. He called me before the podcast. It was like, "Hey, Dad, can you turn off my time restrictions?" Wait, what? No, don't you got school tomorrow? Yeah, but it's the last day of school, so can I have my content restrictions? No. When tomorrow comes, we'll talk about it.
Standing on business. So he learned standing on business from you. So you really can't be mad. If you ain't a real rattler, you're not a real rattler. Where'd you graduate college from?
Oh, here we go. I am a Rattler fan. I'm not an alumni.
Where did you go to school?
Cross Gain Street. Cross Gain Street.
So you're not a real rattler. You a Rattler fan, but you're not a Rattler.
I am a Rattler fan. I am not a Rattler alumni. I am not. Come on, man. I say this all the time. I start out every time we start talking about FAMU. I make sure I say, I am not an alumni. I am a fan.
But we not talking about that. Why you gotta throw that alumni word on the end to confuse the people? I asked, were you a Rattler?
I am a Rattler fan. Dang it. Oh man.
First of all, this is the point in this conversation. It was like, all right. You just kind of let it go. Because every time you say something, it's like when you're stuck in quicksand and you be moving and you go down a little deeper, you move a little bit more, you get a little deeper. That's about that. That's about what's going on right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what happened.
You about up to your neck right now too. Go ahead.
So I'm literally crying from laughing at this so bad. I don't even know where I was going. I don't even know where I was going.
Shout out to Ash for standing on business.
On business.
His summer welcome to summer present. Black Forces.
Woo. Oh no. I got some.
I'm
gonna get asked the forces that I got. Yeah. The snake skin black forces with the orange bottoms. I got you, Ash. Yeah. What size he is? Because he getting them.
I think he had a 7 or an 8 right now. Listen.
Yeah, he getting them.
Listen.
Great suggestion, TP. Yes.
Yes, sir.
He definitely getting them.
Stand on business.
Engraved
under the tongue.
I'm gonna show you how they look.
Embroidered under the tongue. Stand on business.
Let's just find out what his size is. This phone call is a risk. This is what you call.
And you doing it live.
Hey, quick question. What shoe size is Ash? Because Marlo is going to get him some snakeskin Rattler Air Force Ones.
Yes, sir.
He getting them.
He what size is he?
I don't know. You don't know what my shoes last. Shit, am I supposed to know that?
Oh, dear Father God. Remember when I said
First of all, you interrupted me eating my fucking french fries. And that's rude and disrespectful. Let's get that out of the way. Number 2.
Whatever.
I want to say a 5 feet.
What happened?
I think it was 5 was the last time I was in that shoe.
TP dying, so something good just happened. What happened?
Are you listening?
I am listening to you, Melissa, and so is podcast.
Sweet baby Jesus, what just happened? This has got to be podcast gold.
You don't interrupt the woman when she's eating French fries. Lesson learned today.
Exactly. Apparently, I'm gonna let you go. I will definitely send you a clip of this moment.
That's just rude.
Bye.
That shit is funny. You might should have led with that. Hey, I'm on the podcast and I just wanted to ask this question. It got you on speakerphone.
He didn't give her no warning.
Nothing.
And I mean, and it was instantly, I'm on your ass. You interrupted dinner. This is not okay.
That
she came in hot.
Hilarious.
I'm talking about hot. Okay.
Wow.
All right. So apparently, no rule.
Have y'all ever heard of how Navy pilots have to land on ship carriers in the middle of the ocean? They come in hot.
Coming in hot.
Every time. For the fear of falling off the other side of the boat. They come in full speed, catch the barrier, and then they stop. There was no stopping on her. She came down, touched down on your ass, and then took the fuck back off.
She dropped the hammer after she touched down. Hey, I don't need no damn hook.
You buy his shoes. Oh God!
And all he asked was what size his ass shoes.
Oh God! This
and she said, "You buy his shoes."
Yeah.
Troy, don't make people think while they eating. That's the worst mistake you'll ever make. People don't want to think while they're eating.
That is funny.
Oh God!
Y'all
I
silly.
didn't.
I wish I had my damn headphones on to hear that shit. Cause first of all, I wish she could have heard me. Cause I would have been pumping that shit right on up.
See, God don't like ugly. That's why you ain't here.
Oh,
that's why you ain't here.
Oh my! I would be like, really? I'm them the good fries with light salt. He interrupting you on that shit? Oh my God! He could have texted you on that. Yeah, I would have had to.
I bet they was fresh and lightly salted too.
Yeah, that's funny.
I've in the past when there were issues about, and like this is my fault. What just happened is my fault because I've like when there are issues with stuff involving kids in the past. I'm like, as a mother, can you give me your perspective? She was like, no, I don't want to be on the podcast. See, God don't like. I get karma immediately. Like God be like, okay, let me go ahead and slap you upside your head real quick because you're a hard head.
Yeah,
that's
that
what
part.
that was. That's what that was.
She already tell you once.
It is.
He say, what they're saying. We say, what do you say to a dude with two black eyes? Nothing. You already told him twice.
You gonna learn today.
Oh man.
Gonna learn today.
Oh man.
All
right, so this is completely unscheduled, not something we normally talk about, but I'm kind of getting sick of seeing it. Everybody is posting, and by everybody, I want to make sure I frame this properly. There are people who look like me who are calling Caitlin Clark the greatest female basketball player greatest women's college basketball player of all time. That's how they're framing it. Greatest women's basketball player of all time.
We can't say she had the greatest career because they ain't win no championship.
I don't even understand. Like everything is relative. Everything is. Like they know not of the history of women's, like they're late to the party.
Yeah, like you can't tune in. You can't tune in last night and tell me what happened the whole year prior.
Yeah, that's just, it don't even make sense. You got women out there that has won championships from the day they stepped on the court in college until the day they left, and they had to stay 4 years.
And so far in the season,
and led the team.
So far in the season, Angel Reese is the front runner for Rookie of the Year.
What? She is balling. She is balling.
Angel Reese is the front runner for Rookie of the Year. And she gets to get her running mate back June 1st. And guess who they playing? The Indiana Fever.
Oh, they're going to
prime time.
They're going to beat them by
prime
40.
Time. No, I get it. Caitlin doesn't, play directly apart from Angel Reese because she's a forward. Caitlin's a guard. I get it. But we're gonna be able to see the two most highly talked about rookies on the court at the same time. Then you can start making your decisions then. And my foreshadowing is It's sometimes on point, sometimes I'm wrong, but I'm foreshadowing a lot of missed threes from Caitlin Clark and a lot of rebounds for Angel Reese. That's what I see.
I see that they're not even remotely on the same plane. Like, the best thing that probably ever happened to Angel Reese is she wasn't the number one pick.
Yeah.
Because she would have went to a terrible team. Like, they were picking number one for a reason. They suck. That team, they haven't won a game all season.
They won one. They got their first win.
Yeah, they won one game. And they have been getting, like, they have been putting pause on Caitlin Clark. Every team they play against, they put pause on her.
Oh yeah.
On purpose.
She's not a big person. She's what, 5'11", 145, 150 pounds?
Not enough.
Caitlin?
Yeah. They might got her listed at 6 feet. You can look that up. She can't run through screens. Every time she's tried to run through a screen, she's ended up on the ground. It is not pretty.
Yeah. Like, when you got to get ice during the game.
Up on the ground, if she's getting like knocked to the ground on screens, a few things we need to take into account. Like, she need to do something with her teammates, go out to dinner, hang out, something, because something ain't right though. So something is supremely not right.
This is the equivalent of an offensive line saying, "Fuck my quarterback, I ain't blocking shit."
Pretty much.
Hands up, Ricky. That's all they say.
Here they come.
Hands up, Ricky. Oh shit! You better watch that screen. Let me help you up.
Imagine being a quarterback. You get to the line, and then you hear one of the offensive linemen say, "Here they come." What did he say? What?
So,
wait, what did he say?
Yeah. The problem with them statements, people making statements like that, their lens is so small, they don't have a wealth of information. Like, it's even in recent history, it's been better players than Caitlin. She just was on the team where she had to score.
I want to say the two greatest seasons I've seen out of women's college basketball. I say three. It's three. It's Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, and Candace Parker. They had three of the greatest seasons I've ever seen as far as women's college basketball goes. And they all went on to win championships that year.
What?
Dominance.
You can't forget about the GOAT, Cheryl Miller.
I'm not forgetting about Cheryl Miller. I'm talking about what I've seen. I ain't old enough to remember watching Cheryl Miller. I didn't see it. I said what I've seen.
Cheryl Miller is the greatest college player ever. This chick scored 100 points.
I can't disagree with you.
I see what TP's saying.
I can't disagree with you, but context. You got to listen to what I said. Who I've seen.
I got you.
I actually watched
them
play.
That.
Yeah, but that's just that's just a tidbit of the amount of better college seasons that were out there before her. That's just what I've seen. There were some that came before them. But I'm 36 years old, and that's as far back as I can remember.
So, TP, I'm not saying this to trigger you. It just needs to be known. It wasn't on the rundown list. Vancouver is getting a WNBA franchise. Even though the viewership numbers say that a bulk of the viewers in the WNBA are from the South. Marlo, look at this.
finna go have some choice words with the owner of the Houston Rockets. There ain't no way we don't have the Comets back on the court at the Toyota Center in downtown Houston. There's just no way. Some bullshit. Vancouver, they couldn't even keep their NBA team. And you gonna give them a WNBA team? Who's paying for this?
Let me make sure. It's
them
Vancouver.
Women are gonna be on charter buses. They not even gonna be on flights. They gonna be sending them on the road because they ain't got no money.
From Canada.
From Canada.
That is the worst business.
Passports.
That's the worst business decision ever. Like there are no other WNBA.
I'm sorry. I said Vancouver. I'm sorry. It's not Vancouver. It's Toronto. I'm sorry. It's not Vancouver. It's Toronto.
What's the difference?
My bad.
What the hell is the difference?
Play it, Troy. Play it. Play the song.
I told the song. Well, let me add it. Let me go ahead and add it.
Play the song. We ain't even fucking with Toronto right now. And there it is.
I'm sorry, Miss Parker. TP asked for it.
I'm not mad at the Toronto people. I'm mad at the system that doesn't work.
That is the dumbest business decision. Every team has to fly to Toronto, to Canada, to play a game.
They racking up the air miles.
That's crazy.
Well, at least it's in a city that has an NBA team. He said Vancouver. I just got mad because they don't even have an NBA team. They lost their team to Memphis.
They did.
You know, if any NBA team gets a WNBA team, I won't be as mad. You know what I mean? It's
Orlando
because
they had the Miracles.
Because they all annexed off of the NBA team anyway. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if LA got another WNBA team just because they got 2 NBA teams and 2 baseball teams and 2 football teams. It would only make sense. See?
Respectfully, they only have 1 football team. The other one is a little league squad.
Wow,
that's
just called a bunch of grown men little league just because you don't like Jim Harbaugh and they're in your division.
The Chargers gonna charge. Everybody said we was trash. We was second in the division. So if we was trash, what was they? And they got the
second in the division where only 1 team made the playoffs. I don't like that.
We was close to 500.
If you gonna be second in the division, it better be because y'all still got a winning record and you gonna make the playoffs. The Packers were number 2 in their division. They almost went to a Super Bowl.
You're not gonna keep shooting at my Raiders when the Bucks is playing in the NFC South. We're not gonna keep doing that.
I mean, we know the NFC. The Buccaneers made the playoffs with a 10-7 record. I can't even say shit about 10-7 because the Texans went 10-7. But the NFC South is
this thing on.
The NFC South is the butthole of the NFC. That is the worst division.
Hold on.
I mean, it is. It is the worst division in the NFC. The NFC East ain't looking too much better right now with the Cowboys regressing, the Eagles struggling. Washington can't get their head out of their own ass. But that was a great pickup with Jaden Daniels, and we're going to get to see, them with another rookie quarterback. Hopefully they don't treat him like they did RG3. If the man is hurt, don't put him back on the field, I thought it was common sense if the man could barely walk, I wasn't going to play him that week. But that didn't go through Kyle Shanahan's head, and yeah.
TP, it's funny that you brought up the Cowboys. Dak Prescott this week said that he not worried about his contract. He don't play for money.
What you play for? Chips? Attaboys? Because you ain't going to get no attaboy from me. Win a playoff game.
Not just win a playoff game.
Win two.
Yeah, you got to go to a championship.
Oh, man. I don't play for money. That's crazy.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard a professional athlete say.
First of all, when you're a professional at something, that's your job. I'm not about to go out there and crew jets for free. It's my job. And I get paid to do it.
Sense.
This man said, I don't play for money. Then what the fuck do you play for? Because it ain't for wins. It ain't for playoff wins. It ain't for Super Bowl appearances. Because you ain't got none of those. So what else do you have to show for it besides the bank account, the money in your bank account? What else you got to show for it? And and I get it. He's a humanitarian. He does donate a lot of his money. He does donate a lot of his time. And he's very appreciated by the community. But to go out of your mouth and say, I don't play for money, please shut the fuck up.
We need that damn soundbite with that little kid. Oh, bullshit. Oh, bullshit. Oh, bullshit. That's what that was just then. I don't play for money. Then why you sign the multi-million-dollar contract? Tell them don't pay you.
Let them get some better players on the team. Get some better players on the team that do play for money.
Take it, baby girl. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, it did trigger me. Thank you. You knew. It was like, you want me to press this button? Boom.
Don't press that button. Don't you push that button.
This button?
So,
oh my God.
This again is another topic that isn't on the list, but has been making its rounds on social media. Miseducation, Lauryn Hill's album, was listed by Apple Music as the greatest album of all time. Topping Michael Jackson.
It's all relative. Michael were doing Apple streaming numbers.
Was Killing Me
in real life.
Was Killing Me Softly on there?
No, that wasn't even on there. That was on the Fugees' the Score album. By the way, I don't think the Score was on there either. Earth, Wind, and Fire was. Let's. Oh my God! Like, just. I was trying not to get triggered by this, right? And I didn't mind that Cameo wasn't on there. I understood. I absolutely understood that Cameo wasn't
there. Did this guy just say Cameo?
Just let me finish. Cameo wasn't on there. I understood that. Right? I understood that. Perfectly fine with that. Perfectly fine with that. But you some of bitches mean to tell me in 100 albums, Jill Scott ain't on there?
Oh, shit.
You got Tyler, the Creator on there, but not Jill Scott. Ain't no Tyler, the Creator, no Charlie Daniels, no Leonard Skinner. Like, why we having 5-year-olds do pantheons of music? Why? And if it wasn't for HBCU Nightly, I wouldn't even known to look for this. Dave and Banks on HBCU Nightly MD podcast, I was just cruising along, minding my own business, and it was like, oh yeah, this came out. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Let's see. And I kept scrolling. I kept scrolling. I kept scrolling. They scrolled to number one. And okay, if you like 5 years old and the Miseducation by Lauryn Hill is your number one album, that's fine.
You said 5 years old.
That's fine. But it's too many missing out that list. And I ain't just talking about like black artists. I'm talking about like white artists. Dude, they had Pink Floyd so low. Like,
See, there's a huge gap between black artists and whack artists, and they don't understand that.
Yeah. But to a lot of people, I don't even know how you can't even quantify. You can't even quantify the amount of music, like great albums that we've seen. Like the music in the 90s, that was about the best you can imagine for. Thank you, baby girl. That's about the best you can imagine for. Like Jodeci, they the reason I had 3 boys that failed. Shit. That Diary of a Mad Band
is the truth.
Come and talk to me. I really want to meet you, girl.
Can we talk about Kels? Is it okay to talk about Kels?
Man, they can say what they want to about Kels.
But
that dude
if we was really being honest, you take away the human trafficking and the statutory rape and all the other allegations, well, convictions now on R. Kelly, Chocolate Factory was up there. It was number one for a long time. Couldn't touch Chocolate Factory. That was an album you could listen to front and back. Trust me, I heard it front and back. We drove from Houston to Chicago, and my mama had that album on repeat.
I tell you, before
I
Chocolate
was listening
Factory,
to it the whole time.
There was 12 Play.
On 12 Play is how my daughter Jazz got here.
Wow.
There is a song called Sex Me Remix. I'm going to leave it at that.
That dude was a genius now. He was,
you know, I have to blame Maxwell for Julian. I have to blame Maxwell.
Now that we telling on ourselves, Frank Ocean was number 4. Frank Ocean over Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know what? It don't matter who he over. How
you say the whole thing like a Tribe Called Quest.
Mm. Yeah,
so much talent. There was just so much talent, you know, in the music industry coming from the 80s, you know, 80s on up. That's when it really became something marketable for people of color. Because there had been music played, you know, going all the way back to the Harlem Renaissance when jazz became, you know, very popular. But it wasn't nationwide marketable. You know what I mean? A lot of people didn't even hear about it, you know, in the South and on the East Coast for years because it stayed local. But as the music branched out and evolved and evolved and evolved over time, you seen in the late 70s and the early 80s, you know, with people like Al Green and Luther Vandross, that it became something very marketable. You know, and those musics that were made during that time are timeless. You can play them today, and they'll still be good.
And
Yeah.
and just I don't want y'all to think I'm just poo pooing y'all music. That's not what I'm doing.
Oh, I will.
Um, I am very big. I am
Shit,
very
today
big
is
on history.
trash.
Like,
That shit's funny.
Oh,
listen,
I will.
if Migos was on the list, I would be flipping over tables. I ain't even gonna lie. But they weren't on the list, so I ain't mad.
I mean, if we start getting into, rap albums, hip
Mm-mm.
hop, I
Yeah.
could, that's a whole nother list because
Yeah.
Lil Wayne, the Carter, and Carter 2 is gonna top damn near every rap album you can throw at me. Biggie's Ready to Die. Throw it up there. You know what I
Me
mean?
against the world.
Absolutely.
Listen, I keep saying this album, and I need people to go listen to this album. Tupac has an album called Strictly For, the letter 4, My Niggas.
Mm-hmm.
Go listen to that album. The man
One,
was before his time.
one of his first projects.
I'm just here to tell you. All right, look. This week has been a wild, interesting week. Absolutely wild, interesting week. Everything from my Knicks losing and y'all thinking y'all wasn't gonna see my face just because the Knicks lost. You was gonna see my face regardless. Point blank. That was just gonna happen. Wasn't gonna be no avoiding that. I was gonna be a little humble about it, but y'all was gonna still see my face. I don't know what the mercy rule is in baseball, clearly, because we at the top of the 6th and it's 13-4, FAMU. So at some point, the mercy rule need to kick in or call 911 or somebody because this is getting ugly. And all that talk about, oh, FAMU had to struggle last night. Okay, FAMU struggled last night. So what about tonight?
Troy just said they should turn into Wyclef John. Somebody please call 911.
I ain't saying, I'm just saying.
Oh
So,
man.
but
Not the Wyclef.
it is select baseball tournament. I get into baseball beefs with that school in Daytona. It is wonderful banter. MLB, you got to find a way to take whatever's happening on social media when it comes to college baseball, bottle it up, and market that in MLB. I watched a whole FAMU Southern game last night from first pitch to last pitch, which was actually 3 strikes, to last pitch, which is ironic, isn't it? Strike, strike, strike again. Just saying. But I watched the whole game. I gotta do something about it. TP, what you got for us this week?
Well, that was you blowing smoke out your nose when the Knicks lost. Just so you know. Heated might have been the word. Um these young NBA teams are learning a valuable lesson when it comes to the word closing a game out. You have to close games. And I'm going to say this because it relates to all sports. Winners know how to win. When it comes down to it, if you have an opportunity to close another team out, that's what you have to do. The experienced ones that know how to do it seem to always come out on top. The inexperienced or the ones that just don't know how to finish games always seem to lose. Minnesota, they have to learn how to win. There were games against Denver. That series actually shouldn't have went 7 games. If you watch this start to finish, they blew several leads in other games that they eventually lost. They won 4, yeah, you got to win 4 to move on. But it should have happened earlier. And with Indiana, Tyrese Halliburton playing amazing basketball right now for 3 quarters. You got to do it for 4. If you want to close out a team that made it to the NBA Finals last year, the defending Eastern Conference champion, on their home court, you have an opportunity to steal home court advantage, and you throw the game away. I chalk it up to inexperience. Inexperience on the players, inexperience for the coach, because there's no way you blow that game. The moment it went to overtime, I said, oh, yeah, they cooked. This is over with. Better luck next game. Hopefully next time, if y'all have a lead in the last seconds of the game, you understand how to close a game out. You know, that takes me back to the age-old Kobe Bryant with the ball in the last 3 minutes of the game. He's taking almost every shot. Why is he taking every shot? Because he gives them the best opportunity to close the game out. He knows how to win. Well, he knew how to win. He got it done. Michael Jordan, same thing. I want the ball. I'm going to close this game out. Anthony Edwards and Tyrese Halliburton, go watch some film on Kobe and Michael. They'll show you how to end the game. Going into the rest of this series, I hope that y'all are able to figure it out. If not, it'll be Denver versus Boston. I mean, not Denver. It'll be Dallas versus Boston in the NBA Finals, because Luka know how to do it. He just hadn't been able to get there, but this might be the year. Luckily for him, he's going against a very young Minnesota team. But I'll have more for y'all on Tuesday. If you tune into the basketball podcast, I appreciate everybody for watching. I'm TP. Y'all have a good Memorial Day weekend. Just want to say RIP. Rest in peace to, all our fallen soldiers, those that wore the uniform that were not able to make it home. That's why we celebrate Memorial Day. That isn't for us that wore the uniform and are still walking around, and not for those that are still in uniform. That is for the ones that were not able to make it home. We'll keep a seat at the table for you. But that's my time.
Marlo, since you're the resident rattler.
I'm happy. I'm in a happy space. We have an annual gathering this coming weekend with the fam, and I'm looking forward to it, just to get out, let our hair down, eat some good food, spend some time on the water. But I want everybody to remember that we have these holidays and situations not because of anything we did, for the people that came and laid their lives on the line for us. So as y'all enjoy the festivities this weekend, and I hope y'all do enjoy it, because without the sacrifices of many, we would not be able to enjoy the liberties and the freedoms that we have now. So go out, be safe. If y'all are out on the water, please follow the rules. Don't just be out there doing reckless stuff, because that water, it will kill you. So have fun, enjoy, and tune in next week. We'll have some very interesting things. We have OTAs starting up. My Bucks are looking good. And that's all I gotta say. It's Marlo signing off. Y'all have a blessed weekend, and we'll see y'all next week.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out to the Gathering of Old Men podcast. For everybody that joined us on Twitter, Facebook, we had Alton Wright from Facebook. Miss Danny Wright, who is a friend of the podcast, came out. For everybody else that watched, thank you for watching. If you do not see us at some point in time, it is because, again, I have filed for media credentials for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, the last time I did that, it didn't go so well. Let's see what happens. So, for everybody together of Old Men Podcast, Fat Mouth Sports, thank you for coming out. We are out.